Welcome,
Boom.
welcome, welcome everyone by the bi-weekly Vertical EMAs, the place where we take you guys through the latest updates, what is happening behind the scenes, and also the place where you guys can ask questions directly to the team. And guys, I think that today we're really, really have an extremely exciting EMA for you guys because today we are going to give you guys a presentation of the first protocol that is utilizing the gateway for marketing acceleration that is going to be entering into the vertical ecosystem with its own token, with its own protocol, with its own everything, really expanding our ecosystem just like we said that we would do 3 months ago. Guys, today is the day I'm going to give you insight in what this protocol is all about, what it's actually solving, what it's actually trying to do in general, and how this is going to benefit you as a Vert AI staker and ecosystem participant. Because that is, guys, eventually what we want to do, right? We want to make sure that we expand our ecosystem, that we compound on top of what we've built, what we have accomplished together, and to make sure that everything that happens within that ecosystem expansion benefits those who are the most loyal to us, and those who show the most support. So um, for the guys that don't for the people that don't know, again, what this means, right? 1.5 months ago we have introduced the gateway, the central hub of the vertical ecosystem, the beating heart where you can find all our utilities, where you can access our products with discounts if you use our token to purchase the subscriptions, where you can enter into a staking contract where you build weight, and that weight will determine your slice of the pie of the airdrop that is coming, guys. And the protocol today that I'm going to present to you is the protocol that is going to do an airdrop within the vertical ecosystem to the community, to those who have been staking, and those with the most weight get the biggest share. So just to recap a little bit how you get weight, right? You stake VertiI, and based on the amount of VertiI you stake, for how long you stake, you build weight. And also, something that we have opened up 2 weeks ago in our previous EMA is our InfoFi campaign through our Zili integration, where you are able to perform tasks that will give you points. And these points, through a multiplier formula, will increase your weight. So not only by staking more for longer, you get more weight, but also by actively participating in our InfoFi campaigns, you can increase your weight even further. So this is an extremely powerful marketing engine, an extremely powerful acceleration platform for new protocols to leverage to get adoption and distribution from the get-go, but also for us as a vertical ecosystem to expand beyond our own capabilities, and to make sure that everyone who stays loyal, who participates, benefits the most and always comes along for the ride. So, guys,
Ooh,
um, I think that was a good introduction. I think that
definitely.
we can hop into the presentation.
I think
Let me just do this. Oh.
so. That means I've been very loyal, Mark. So that means I'll probably be rewarded, right?
Yes, if you're loyal, you're rewarded. That's the whole thing, guys. That's our whole loyalty mechanism
Looking
that we
forward to
built
it.
in.
Looking really looking forward to it.
Let me just turn up my volume here. Let's see. Share the screen for everyone who is now watching. Um, you are the first person to get accustomed with what we are going to be introducing here.
Let me help you out here, Mark. Bang.
Bam, guys! What you're seeing over here is um, us introducing the VAPI protocol, right? And the VAPI protocol is meant to become the compute infrastructure for autonomous agents, and we're gonna be it's going to be launched on Base. The whole idea of VAPI is to enable one endpoint, one API that not only gives you access to 300 plus models through that API, you're also able to access those 300 plus models through X402 payment railways. And the beautiful thing about this, guys, is that we see something huge happening on the internet, right? And it might sound a little bit as a marketing term. We actually see this is for real, right? We are entering into the Web 4 era. And the Web 4 era, guys, is the agentification of the internet, right? The autonomous agents operating on the internet, on themselves, executing tasks on our behalf or on their own behalf, right? And this is a big movement, right? This is something that it's already started, but we are currently still at the beginning of it. And with the VAPI protocol, we are trying to become, the compute clearinghouse for these autonomous agents that are going to be operating in a permissionless way on chain, on the internet, and they need wallets, they need payment railways, and they need access to compute to even exist, right? And that is a little bit where the problem comes in that we have right now, because all these agents that are running autonomously on chain or on the internet, they need compute, right? And none of them can buy it permissionless right now, because you know most providers don't offer these permissionless payments natively as of now, right? This is a protocol that Base, the organization, has introduced, right? The X402 payment railways, and that we see great potential in. The thing is, though, that it's sort of a chicken and the egg kind of discussion, right? You need providers to integrate the acceptance of X402 payments natively onto their platform, but to do that, they need to see traction on the on that protocol itself. But because the protocol doesn't is still in its early phases, they have not integrated it yet. But because the services are not as broad through X402, people are not using it enough, right? So it's the chicken and the egg. And what we're really seeing is that if we could operate in between as sort of a proxy by, giving you access to Web 2 quality AI inference through our API, um, and doing that to your agent that has its own wallet and is able to pay, through this X402 payment railways, we open up that missing gap within the market. And that is just one part what the VAPI protocol is all about. Because what we see as well is that uh, as of now, all the agents, they are paying the retail price, right? They are individual agents operating on chain, and they essentially have zero leverage towards those companies, right? If you look at our company, right, we spent a huge amount of money, right, in committed manners towards our providers, and because we are able to do that, we are able to negotiate these, enterprise perks and discounts. So we are looking at the VAPI protocol as a sort of a way where we can utilize blockchain railways not only through the X402 protocol of Base, but we can also set up the first compute co-op decentralized co-op protocol where the protocol fees being earned into the VAPI protocol goes into a pool, and with that pool we create substance, and we can go to these providers and negotiate enterprise perks and discounts, and we can trickle those back to our token stakers. So just to sum that up a little bit, how that works, right? Because there are soon two ways to access the VAPI protocol, right? There's one thing for certain, there's going to be one endpoint, our own custom API that you can integrate into your agents, into your AI applications. It doesn't really matter. And you do it in two ways. You either, like I said, you do the pay per call via the X402 railways developed by Base. Um, this is beautiful because this way the agents using that to our endpoint, they don't need an account, they don't need an API key themselves. Well, they do need it. They need art. There's a small mistake. Sorry, guys. But they don't need a human to do it, right? They can go onto our protocol, get our API, integrate it, and use it, autonomously. And that is super powerful. This gives any agent with a wallet instant access to providers that do not offer X402 payment acceptance for natively, right? Obviously, we're going to be adding providers along the way. But here's the interesting thing, because we believe that the staking of the VAPI token, it becomes sort of the way to access the cheapest compute rates. And how do we do that? Is because the protocol fees that we earn, they go into this pool, right? So the more successful the pool becomes, the bigger the pool becomes, the bigger the pool, the better, the more weight that we have towards these providers, the more leverage we have to negotiate, and therefore we are able to negotiate these enterprise perks, these discounts, better uptimes, etc., etc. And these will all be trickling down to our stakers. And this is tremendous, a tremendous value proposition, right? Because this means that now by staking our protocol token, you are directly able to access cheaper compute with enterprise perks. It gives it intrinsic value in a sort of sense, right? All right, so let's move forward, right? What we want to do here is that we want to give the agents, through the VAPI protocol, access to, 300 plus models through our endpoint, right? And these are, high uptime models. These are, these models get fetched directly from, a partner that we're currently working with to negotiate a good integration with them. Settlements happen on Base. We use USDC as main currency within the full protocol. Access will be permissionless, and well, this is the beautiful thing, right? All these agents on chain, they need wallets to pay, they need compute to stay alive. We are the single endpoint to provide them with all. And this is just the start, guys, because we're already looking ahead, right? First of all, if you look at the treasury, right, the more agents use it, the bigger the treasury becomes, right? The better rates we can negotiate, the more compute we can offer to you for those tokens that you stake, the more interesting it becomes, the more agents deploy, etc., etc. And this way, it really creates organic demand for the token, a real reason to buy the token, to stake it, and to get access to our API. Let's see if we go here, the mechanics. I think this we can skip for now. This one is also, as I said, right, we're building this on rails that matter. So I told you before, we're building this on Base, and there's a big reason for it why we're building this on Base, right? Because Base, is the layer 2 chain of Coinbase itself. And they have developed the X402 payment railways, and they've introduced it. And this is the thing, right? 85% of all X402 transactions are settled on Base. And Base is setting itself up to become the agentic chain of Web3 in general. You see a lot of things happening there of real builders building real AI applications where they are in need of these railways, of these endpoints to give them compute. So we made the strategic decision to deploy the VAPI protocol on base because of those sole reasons. Because in the end, guys, the better we set up ourselves for adoption, the more successful the protocol becomes. Let's see. All right, so and we're not stopping there, guys. So that is the whole thing, right? Besides, building the API, tapping into the base ecosystem, partnering with these mega providers and enterprises to deliver you guys with, discounts and perks within the API. We are obviously already thinking ahead, right? So what we're looking at here is that the compute protocol, the pool, and the X402 is just the foundation. But what we want to do is we want to give you guys also the tools and the access sort of to build something with it, right? Everybody wants their own agent. Everybody wants their own autonomous agent doing stuff for them online. Everybody wants to make sure that those agents have access to all these beautiful um, uh, 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 let's say product perks that I've just described here. So what we want to do is we want to build a platform where you are able to deploy your own autonomous agents within the protocol, right? And here's the interesting thing that is going to be happening, because we're currently exploring how we can, how do you call that? Gamify this, right? How can we tokenize this? How can we gamify this? How can we showcase that, the adoption of this protocol, is amplifying and accelerating further adoption and further volume and further protocol success. Um, so we're going to give you guys in layer two a one-click agent deploy template where you're able to deploy your own agents. That is either a content trading, or maybe it's a scraper agent. It doesn't really matter. We are building that agent deployment application in such a way that you are free to build what you want in terms of agentic power, but that it automatically deploys with a wallet, with X402 integrations, with our API, so that you are set from the get-go the moment that you use our protocol, and that we make it extremely easy for retail people to use our protocol as well. Because obviously in layer one, when we develop the API, it's a means to an end, right? But when we have the API available, mainly developers do know what to do with it. But we want to make sure that you, as the non-technical person that also wants their own agent, are able to utilize this protocol as well. And the third layer, guys, and this is where we really see a big mode and a big amplification of the need for the token happening as well, is that we want to enable private inference, right? We've seen this happening on chain. We see that the need is there, and we believe that if we can build this, and we already have a thesis on how we are going to be building this in a way that it's sustainable. But yeah, we got to make sure that we have this private element in there as well, right? It's just one of the biggest modes for utilizing blockchain as well. And again, this is really going to bring this protocol further than as layer three. Let's see. All right. So I think this is somewhere where we can take a little breath. I hope you guys have had some questions, because we're ending the near of we're nearing the end of the presentation. I just want to recap a little bit, why this matters for the vertical ecosystem, because the VAPI protocol is the first project that is going to utilize the vertical gateway and the vertical community as an accelerator, right? And that is just an awesome synergy, because they will be doing an airdrop of 2 million tokens to Vert AI stakers. Guys, please pay attention if you're watching this and if you're not staking yet. Those who are staking will build weight. Those who are staking can join into our Zeely campaign, and those will receive the airdrop. We already have about 8% staked currently, which is phenomenal, but we need to get this up even further, right? Because then, the power is going to be phenomenal here as well. But yeah, this is a real product, guys. It's a protocol aimed to drive real revenue. Of that revenue, the largest part will trickle down into the protocol, into the pool itself. So most of the money that gets earned within the protocol goes back to the stakers of Vapi. So we gotta make, and that's what we did from the start, right? We only want to introduce new protocol, new tokens to the vertical ecosystem that are of high quality, that have the serious intention to bring something of value to our ecosystem. And we strongly believe that the Vapi protocol is, setting the vertical ecosystem up as the new, platform to access the agentic wave of the internet. Um, so yeah, guys, I think this is, let's see what we have here. This is the closing sheet. So guys, again, I think that,
I
yeah,
I
this,
love the presentation, Mark. I see you put a lot of effort into it. You know, you've really been thinking about this protocol, about the whole product, so and about this whole situation. So uh, it looks really, really cool. I'm really looking forward to this new era.
yeah.
Platform.
So we're building this with a top-notch blockchain engineering team. One of the best
Yeah,
senior cloud engineers that we know is operating on this as well.
yeah, they're really
Um,
good.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. So everything from this protocol, from start to finish, is top notch. Um, Very high quality advisors are on board as well. In terms of marketing, in terms of partnership, in terms of technical development, everything is top notch. So this is exactly the type of protocols that we want to introduce into the vertical ecosystem. And I'm just super excited to leverage our substance within the vertical community to accelerate this even further. And guys, I hope you're looking forward to this as well. um, because yeah, this is gonna be a banger. I feel
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's really really cool to see this. It's been coming for some time now already. They've been working really hard behind the scenes to get this ready. So it's nice seeing it all come together right now. And it's nice that this today we're able to share it with the community. And there's you guys don't know already, but there's a lot of more things like this coming in the near future. So really really cool. Next really cool projects. Launching the next phase of AI, but also what you talked about before. So
Yeah, I think that is a good thing that you're saying, right? Because like we are building this sort of in collaboration, right? But we are already being approached by many more high
yeah,
quality founding teams that want to leverage, the vertical gateway and the community, and partner with the community and the ecosystem. Um, so like obviously we cannot promise anything as of this stage. We can promise that this airdrop is coming. This has been confirmed. So for everyone that is staking, congrats. You've probably built your weight, and well, those who joined in early and etc. Well, congrats to you guys. It's still not too late. The launch date of this protocol has not been confirmed yet, but yeah, this airdrop is coming. But we are already in conversations with multiple other teams to explore if we can go even further and continue, the motion of, expanding the ecosystem and bringing you guys, exposing you guys to more airdrops in the
yeah,
future.
and that's exactly the answer to the question from one of the questions from the chat. So I think you
Yeah.
elaborated on it nicely, Mark. So yeah,
Yes, these are coming, guys. Again, this is not a one shot go, right? We've put a lot of effort into building. Let's say we've put a lot of effort in changing, the narrative and the story around vertical, right? About 1.5, 2 years ago, obviously, we set out, with training AI models. It was a standalone product on itself. We created some, utilities for the token for that one product, but Along the way, we've launched multiple products. Currently we have our full line of AI, SaaS applications live that you can access today, which are all phenomenally, and you can access them all with our token. We have all these utilities now set up. The time and effort that we put into, evolving from what we started into, the ecosystem that we're building today. That is not only for this. We are going to amplify. We are going to accelerate this, and expect more and more to come after this as well. Can you introduce the Vapi developers? Well, I mean, our best senior cloud engineer is working on this as we speak. That is Kevin. I mean, he has been introduced and he's been on this EMA in the past. We are working together with a high quality enterprise grade blockchain developing team. They are called Eco Labs. They work with enterprise projects like Silo, Optimus, those kind of parties. So, and they are now joining forces with us to develop the Vapi protocol. So, and for the rest, we are onboarding partners and advisors currently, mainly those that have high quality connections into the base ecosystem. So yeah, from all sides, everything is just rolling smoothly, being built proper, all to set up for the highest likelihood of success. Uh, Before launch, after launch, and in 1 year and 2 years, of course.
There is one more question from the chat from our community. Let me just. I don't know. It's not appearing, but I can read it to you, Mark. Some
Okay.
people think staking their tokens is dangerous due to past experiences with other projects, so they refrain from staking. Can we make some posts explaining how Vertical is not one of such rug projects so that they can confidently stake without fears?
Well, first of all, I would say I think after building for 1.5 years, showing up every week, still here, even though that the bear market, has hit all projects very hard. I think we've kind of proved already that we're different than the rest, right? We're approaching things a bit different. We are doing everything legitimate. We're an actual company over here trying to you know, grow the ecosystem around vertical. So, in my opinion, we don't need to have a post to explain what we are not. I think that our reputation speaks for itself, and I think that
Yeah.
everybody who's been here along the ride can confirm this very strongly. That
I think you can ask anybody in the space and they will confirm it for you as well. So,
yeah, we've worked hard to make that reputation. Obviously, I understand, right, that some people um, are hesitant in staking their tokens. But then for that, I would like to say we've made an audit on it. We got one of the highest scores on that audit from Solid Proof, their auditing team, of any staking contract they've ever audited. I think it was a 96 out of 100. That is gold tier security baked in. So, I mean, we. I'm not going to spend time explaining what we're not. I think that those kind of things speak for themselves. And if you find it too dangerous, well, sorry. I mean, I get you, right? I've been in protocols before in the past as well that were not as trustworthy. So I get it. But we try to put out as much information and we are as transparent as possible to give you that confidence and security to
yeah,
trust it.
yeah, definitely. Those were the questions, Mark. We
Okay, perfect. Alrighty, then. Well, if there aren't any more questions, thank you for the questions. By the way, always good to answer them here live together with Hidden. But if there aren't any more questions, guys, I would say keep an eye out for our socials because tomorrow we will be sharing a bit more information around Vapi. And also, I think about Friday or starting of next week, you will be seeing Vapi tasks as well appearing in the Zili campaign that you can access through the gateway by staking. So um, keep an eye out. This was just the introduction, but more information is coming the coming days and weeks. I guess for now, I wish everybody a great evening, a great day wherever you are. But this is Hidden and Mark tuning out.
See you guys later.
Thank you.